Smack Little Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Lope. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
We back in the black box. Got a special guest in this thing. He a throwback partner of mine. East Side, Eastie partner of mine. Glasses Malone. I got to get him here personally, live in the black box. But until I do, we finna pull him up on the screen, ask you some questions. I've had a few questions written down for a while. However, there are also some questions about current events, some of the latest things I've seen him going through that I'm gonna ask him as well. Glasses Malone, welcome to the black box, my brother.
Speezy, man, about time, cuz I'm an original fan of the black box, cuz, so it's good money.
Okay.
Original fan.
I think it was like 2017, maybe, when I can recall, the first time I got a call from you in regards to what I called myself doing with the black box and going live and the way I had it looking, and you gave me some game. You don't have no idea that has continued to motivate me to stay consistent to this day.
What was the game?
You told me, I can't quite recall the phrase, but my best friend, that day you called me, my best friend from Young Niggas, we was on the phone. So like when you called me, you and Six was on the phone. They like, this glass on, hold on. And to this day, I think this is what you said. Spot SPI, you know what you done created for yourself? I'm like, no, what? You like, you know what a media kit is or a branding kit? It look like when you woo do. So you see how different it is, but how the same it is since then, bro.
Yeah. It's at another level for sure at this point, you feel me?
But guess what? It's still a black background with the lights and the matching shirts, but it's just different, better.
Nah, it's professional.
Right on, man.
I remember hitting you more than once. I remember hitting you then, and then hitting you, I think it was during the pandemic. And I think I remember telling you, like, bro, whatever this is you doing, this is the shit.
Good looking.
I think the craziest part is, like, your reputation precedes you. And when niggas come up how we come up, I don't think people really understand how intelligent motherfuckers be from around the way.
Oh, my.
And I think everybody get that from you here. You know what I mean? Even in all the chaos, I think people understand how well-spoken and outspoken you are about certain ideas. And they not just emotional. You know what I mean? They from a thought-out place.
Man, that take me back again in the days when texting first was really a thing. And you used to come up with your motivational quotes or texts and send them to your real partners.
Mhm.
I remember one time you composed one, and I received it not knowing. This is how I knew you sent it to a group. Because you sent it and you cooked, you ate, you was prolific, it was poetic, and you made a point about Harleys versus, it was style and what we should pass on to the youth.
Mhm.
And I responded in a way where I was just like, damn, even though you was considering yourself giving an upgrade from that, I'm like, we should be. And I remember your response was like, SPI, you know how many niggas I sent this to? You the only nigga.
I be taking a lot. You know what's funny? I think a lot of times you really the only nigga that really understand what I be saying. I think people act like they understand what I'm saying. I think when I speak, you really get it. You get it at a level of like from the inside out. Like I think people hear it and then they be like, oh, okay, I get what he on. But you get it because you understand the perspective that I'm speaking from a lot of times.
Nip used to say, we speak the same language.
There you go. That was his favorite line too.
And we have the same ilk in so many ways. You and I in particular. I haven't even had the opportunity to come and support you or come to your aid in any street sense. How you have been there for me, even though it didn't go to fruition.
Yeah.
You made a gesture on my behalf that I'm gonna appreciate for death though. Track New Park, I'm gonna just let that be. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my mama. Well, that's the welcome. Y'all done seen us reunite. It's time to get to the interview. I just got a few questions because I want to say the full extreme. I'm looking to do some podcasting with Glasses. However,
I got to get you on mine. So that
call
became something important. I know, but you know how sometimes we push off our personal relationships as if we don't do business or we not in the same business. And I think it's funny when you text me the other day, and I was talking about it on my stream. That's why it was important. I'm like, I'm telling somebody, I'm like, man, you have these personal relationships with people and they be in the same business and you don't do business with them. And it's not because you don't want to, it's just you take the personal relationship for granted as if you're gonna have that person forever. So when you text me and you was like, gee, man, what's up with all this? And I'm like, damn, cuz it hit me right when I'm saying. That's why I'm like, man, calling this like I just was saying that, and this is one of those times. So that's why I was like, no matter what I gotta do, I don't give a fuck what I gotta stop. Like, we're gonna do it now, then we're gonna do the real thing. Like, we're gonna make sure we have it. You know what I mean? If even if we don't get the build a million times after, we're gonna make sure we did this.
Oh, my mama. And I respect you for it because the audience will never know the details. But I took it upon myself to let my brother know I was taking umbrage with his tardiness. And I was never disrespectful, never will be, but I was somewhat stern. And instead of him getting his feelings, tit for tat, hey, nigga, busy, homie. Man, that before I could finish typing my final message, I had to break it down because he was such a man about it. I'm wrong, SPI. Blah, 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 blah. No, that shit, so much should be easy to get over if niggas just can acknowledge they're wrong and get to the next, keep moving on, bro.
Yeah, facts. But we also come from a world where that's normal for niggas to tell you wrong. They gonna stand with you when you wrong for sure, but a nigga gonna tell you wrong. So just because you can say, gee, man, that shit wrong, that don't mean I ain't standing with you. And in a real motherfucker, we gonna correct it. And that's, to me, that's why I was like, you know what? That nigga right. And we had just talked probably about 2 months. So it really hit me how much I've been doing. And I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what I gotta stop doing to make sure I make this happen. Cause like I said, man, not just the thought of not being here, but how the fuck we anywhere in the same business, feel me? And we ain't did nothing to propel each other's business.
Only certain people I know, I can hold that type of mirror up to them and get it good. Some people they're noticing this, don't give a fuck. Leave the booger in their nose. So I know you, like you say, that's why no matter what the case is, it'll never be nothing other than tapping the nigga on the shoulder. If he say, okay, hold on, speak, and get busy again, the next tap will be a little, and I might just squeeze your clavicle. Like, then you be like, oh shit, hold on, let me get, it's that easy.
But again, to that same point, when it's the people you got personal relationship and personal vested interest in, you kind of take the business relationship or the furthering of business with them for granted.
True.
And I was saying on my stream, like, I'm gonna get out of that habit immediately. Immediately.
Damn, well, you had just said something that caused me to, I was gonna ask you something, but it didn't slip my mind that quick. What you had just said, damn, cuz. How easy is it for you to change the color of that light? Is it difficult or right at your fingertips?
What you want?
Green, just because you see what's going on, just might as well.
What you talking about? Hold on.
Any shady green, just look like we did it all on purpose.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get this.
I think that's part of my slight case of OCD.
I like that though.
Right on, color coordination. And it's also plays out in alliteration when I write. Like I fuck with consonants more than anybody I know.
Damn, bro, this motherfucker, the green ain't even acting right.
See, look, I picked the wrong shit.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna figure it out.
All right, don't trip. As you do, question number 1. I was watching your stream the other day, and you was mediating or hollering at Snoop Dogg, mediating with the dash, politicking that. And I looked today, I don't see it. But I couldn't help but notice on your name tag, it's glasses. Loke of all Lokes. I'm familiar with the Water Boy. I'm familiar with Bobby Boucher. I know G Malone. I know Glasses Malone from South. I know Glasses Loke. I even think that's been a few, but the Loke of all Lokes, please define and expound upon that.
So as I ascend into the spaces of true cultural lore, I kind of have took Loke, Glasses, LOC, right? My name from the set, and I made it the light of Christ. It goes into a much greater thing. So a lot of times when it's a few syllables, I use less acronyms. So that's what the Loke of all Lokes stand for. like the nigga that shine the brightest light on all the righteous shit that we supposed to be doing from where we from.
Now, if y'all ever hear me reference that, y'all know where I got it from. I've been trying to way to clean up my locan without you, but you know what you just did, cuz? You know what you did, Keyway? When we first started our careers doing interviews, remember the person, we was the only one talking.
Yeah.
We asked the question,
Right.
and it was on us to go crazy. And I remember, like, I don't know if it was early Death Row or G Unit. I remember getting a chance to do an interview with one of the publications. And the person I was interviewing with, who wasn't white, fucked me up and told me this, like, hey, you know, I went to journalism school. And they was like, da 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 da. You know, the main thing when you're giving an interview as an interviewer, the main thing you're looking for out of an interviewee that would impress you and make you feel like this is a good interview is answers that make you say, I never thought of that. And you just, yo, God, that was the last thing on my mind. Why could I argue with that, cuz?
I got an album in the key called The Light of Christ, the LOC. It's hard too.
I got umbrage with the fact you got number of albums and I ain't made every at least 4/5.
You know what? That's another but see, I could always know that we did, but you're right, and that should stop too. So
Look how
now that you said it,
I put a big gap every 4/5. Yeah.
no, that's facts. So now that you said it, you already know what time it is.
If you're interested, if you appreciate it enough, miles away, if you want it, we clean it up, you can have that.
No, I got something for you. I actually got a song for you.
Okay.
Now that you said that.
Say less.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to current events locally, then we'll work our way out to some more broader topics, interesting. Not much consequence here. We just gonna chop it up like we would if nobody was listening, as we often have done in the past. Aunt Hefe.
Yeah.
Grown man, tad bit younger than us, but nonetheless an adult, taking similar steps, coming from the streets to public eye. No, it's a balance. No, it's a juggle. Just give me your general thoughts on, you know, the situation he seems to find himself in.
I'm hearing multiple stories. You know what I mean? I think I finally got the true story now. It's a real juggle, bro. It was a real juggle for us. It was a juggle for us where coming from the life and then coming into this space of entertainment to balance them both. And he has it's a situation to where, you know, the streets can't come back and repossess. You know what I mean? So I don't know enough, honestly, about his situation to, you know, really kind of have a judgment because I don't know. Like I've heard so much, you know, it'd be on the net, bro. It'd be so many rumors, and I ain't really tried to tap in with nobody over there to get the truth. It'd be more than the thing. I'm just praying because while he was trying to change his life, sometimes we don't always get a chance to make it out of it.
So many times, like a Carlitos Way situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get your idea on that. Move on. I have this question. It's a two-part question. This is a secret you might not know I'm aware of, but I'm aware of you got a pretty high-profile partner in this space. And I would like for you to explain to us or me your relationship with Charlemagne the God. And on the second half, what's up with him and Akademiks, and where do you find yourself just thought-wise as they going at what they going at?
So I met C back in like '07. This is like when we was moving around real tough. At that time, I think I had a foe. Now I had some shit, but I had a foe. And I went to a DJ convention they had in Inglewood. I don't know if it was Tony shit, like Court DJs. It was somebody's shit.
Motherfucking conventions.
Yeah. And I'm in the parking lot. You know, this at that time where we ain't really subscribing to nothing Hollywood or, you know what I mean? We not really getting down with none of that. So I'm sitting outside in the parking lot against my car and we just chilling. And I seen walking by. I'm like, oh, this the dude that be with Wendy. I knew Wendy already. And I introduced myself like, what's up, man? I'm Glasses, man. You know, 7th Street. I'm still gang, you know, in my mind. And he introduced himself. And what's always made our relationship, our friendship cool is I ain't said nothing to him in public. I mean, in private that I can't say in public. So, You know, he a really solid dude as far as like if he fuck with you, he fuck with you. He gonna try to go all out for you. You know what I mean, get you all the opportunities that he can, you know, wherever's available. But he is the kind of person that whatever you said to him, it better be for real because he gon' you know what I mean, he gonna talk. That's the one thing. He really do his job inside and out. He investigate really well. You know what I mean? He's very mindful of all of that. So our relationship always been solid because like I ain't never said nothing to him, like I said in private that I can't say in public. Um Now him and Act, I'm slow to some of this. You know what I mean? I just see Act kind of going crazy on Twitter, but I'm not really investigating, and I really ain't called C to kind of get the details of what he talking about. You know what I mean? I just seen him talking about some shit, and I assume it's more the Jay-Z shit, like something about people following him, and I, you know what I mean? SP, that shit just sound crazy to me. Like,
Right.
if a nigga would pay another nigga to follow you, I think that's the depth of what we talking about. So
Mhm.
that shit just weird. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I don't know no nigga that get down like that. I don't think we know people like that that just be paying niggas to follow niggas.
I'm gonna keep it a Google. I asked you that question because that's the current headline related to him. The real core question was to get an understanding of, you know, how you got plugged with him. I didn't know it took went back that far.
Yeah.
I've only know I've known this for about 5 or 6 years. So I'm glad you gave me that history. But I know I've learned something about you. You have mastered. They say your network is your net worth.
Right.
You have mastered being a kid from where we from, getting an opportunity to put your foot in another realm to make and maximize relationships, bro. I gotta salute you for that.
That's
Yo,
the dope boy, man. That's that
oh,
water boy, you feel me? That's the dope boy, man. It's like you don't know who gonna be the I mean, I used to remember we used to hang out. So I don't know if you remember this. We used to hang out at Interscope all the time. This is me, Bishop, all of us, right? My mom taught me that, and my mom was a dope girl. So she said, introduce yourself to the doorman like he the president, because maybe one day he's probably gonna be the president. And I don't care if it was Wendy Williams, you know what I mean, a co-host that wasn't popular, I treated him like Wendy Williams.
Craig Facts.
Well, at that time it was Charlemagne, or if it's Craig, like Craig, right? Craig is another dude. Craig is a dude that I always, and we done already did some dope shit, but you know, a lot of the people that's like us. You know what I mean? It was one day somebody could have mistreated us because we wasn't in position, and now our voice mean way more than it ever did. So I think that's that same dope boy habit of, you know, treating people like, you know, being a relationship, being somebody that's a relationship that's worth something to you.
Right. Right. And industry wise, typically I found that difficult to obtain and maintain. But on the other hand, it seems like you've had a more effective go at that.
You got a lot.
Laced and you held on to a certain lacing. I was taught from the Bible to have friends, one must show himself friendly. And I have been have difficulty with being friendly my whole life. Oh, why?
Ah, man, because I think you hold niggas to a different standard.
Mm.
And a lot of times you're gonna realize niggas can't meet that standard. And I watch you, you know, we done had conversations personally. I watch you go through that of trying to hold niggas to that standard and then kind of watching them come short, but then not being accountable when they do come up short. And that shit just piss you off. You
You
just one of the people that
I
you know what
turned
I mean?
40
Like,
in February and I shut that chapter. But you describing your brother that you knew
exactly.
prior to January 2026, you are absolutely correct. You can keep building, my bad.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm saying it's kind of why I'm okay with sometimes you clashing with niggas. That's
Mm.
why I don't make the call to be like, man, SP, fuck that, man. Don't be arguing. I know how you are. I know how you are when it comes to somewhere along the line, somebody failed the standard of how men should behave. And then somewhere along the line, you was like, hey man, that ain't right. And they probably reacted emotionally.
Mm.
Me, I'm a little bit more like my standard for men, like my standard for you is different. I'm gonna give you the standard that I'm gonna give myself. But a lot of these motherfuckers, I'm not giving them that standard.
Rich Trapper recently said right here in this chair, we got to stop expecting you from others. And then Nipsey said it, I ain't nothing like you rapping is. So
Yeah.
I realize real is rare. And the rarest does not desire to be more like or amongst the least rare. I ain't tripping. You feel me?
Yeah.
I call myself Trudolph, the blue nosed reindeer. So it is what it is. You already know the real, the true, no matter how far y'all got to go to matriculate around these weenies, every time I tap in, niggas keep it a Google with me. So I applaud all the success my niggas make that I might not have the character, personality, desire to go obtain. Because when they get it, I got it. Whether I go
Exactly.
share it, partake in it or not, I'm glad you got it because I got it.
Yeah. And no matter where we get to, we got a long way to go.
Mm.
None of us, because it ain't like if I was running the president of the company, you already know what time it is. I mean, and it ain't about promises or nothing. It's just the people that believe in you and know what you about and the people that don't.
Do me a favor on that note. Go through BLACBOX, search. If any see the God titles I need to delete, let me know. Then let's talk it about. I've been quite opinionated on dude. He been sniffing seats and all type of shit. But that before I knew he's your partner, I would probably.
Man, listen, listen. One
Wait.
thing I give him credit is he gonna let me make fun of him.
Okay.
You know, he from where we come from, where I get to make a joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like I get to, when you do some crazy shit, I get to tease you about it. And that does make our relationship better because you know we can't fuck with nobody we can't tease. If you do some
Right.
weird shit or some boof shit, you got to be able to deal. You know
If
what
I
I mean?
present you public and you doing this shit public, you gotta leave me some room
Yeah.
to clarify my lack of agreement with that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a man is gonna let you do that. You know what I mean? And that's what we work out too. Like I definitely will be able to make fun of him or if I don't agree with something, but it's just how we grow up. Like we don't gotta agree on everything. I'm gonna have your back regardless. That's it.
So with that being said, um, what's your thoughts on how I've heard the backstory similar to mine? When we was the hottest names on the West, you embraced Vladimir. A few months ago, the last time we really was chopping about doing content, you was going viral because Vladimir had your name in his mouth.
Mm.
Y'all rectified that, and it's not worth visiting because I don't want to, reopen nothing that you already hashed out.
Nah. I mean,
So what can you, because you seen since you seem like it's been a little snowball with the culture, he's falling out. I mean, since Marlon Wayans, you were one along the way. He's been having quite a few fallouts with prominent members amongst us. But I would like for you to expound on your personal experience and just your thoughts on it.
I mean, the thing with Vlad is, it's like, man, I was bringing Vlad to watch, right? I was taking him to watch, making sure he was straight. You know what I mean? And I consider him somebody I fuck with. Like I thought he was cool. He gave me some really dope mixtape looks. I was bringing him to the concrete. You know what I mean? And letting him get life. I took him to the PJs. I let him see some shit. And it was a very mutual, beneficial relationship. And to me, it never went bad. Like even the conversation or the story that we talking about, in my mind, I'm protecting him from making a bad decision first. Then I'm protecting myself from somebody who I believe couldn't be accountable when they make a bad decision. So in real time when it happened, it wasn't no big deal to me. It was like, man, I'm not giving you no pistol.
Hmm.
I never realized that he was gonna take it personal and hold it for that long.
Oh.
And that kind of became the end of our relationship on his end because he felt like we were close enough to where I should gamble on his ability to be accountable when it mattered.
Ooh, look how this nigga articulate himself.
No, you know what I'm saying?
All the way after he gets up there, not intending to use his pistol at all. He just wants his wallet. He's being humble. Hey, think I could please. This big black gorilla guy jumps out.
Climbs up a 2-story building.
And and then I'm talking about, no, I'm talking about a hypothetical, not what happened. I'm talking about accountable downside. I didn't get you this pistol. You went over there even without me to see about it. And now this dude done tripped again. You have to defend yourself with said pistol. People want to know where you got it from.
And that was my thing. Like, that's not your realm. So fast forward to now, like, honestly, it wasn't no malice in my heart to tell the story. It was just really from a creative place based off of what I was working with as far as my ideas of releasing records, like these kind of part records. And it just really hit me to come up with the idea that he was doing things that to let me know he had a problem with me, which I didn't really realize until then. So I knew at that point, it wasn't nothing. So when I released the song, obviously he felt some kind of way. He did some content and kind of told this really hilarious story where he beat up a man while he was naked, and the man, whoever it was, had just got out of prison and scaled a 2-story building.
I've never heard a apparently non-confrontational dude tell a story from such a humble angle, and then it's like the white guy in the movie or the white girl who is at the last minute doing the boop bap bap boop bap and beat the most. I couldn't. But hey, go ahead, keep going.
Right, and so it got to the point where it was like, so I knew how he felt, you know what I mean, and honestly, I accepted the fact that he was gonna feel some kind of way. I didn't think he would, because always wondered. I'm like, I wonder how was he gonna, feel about me telling this story? Like, what would be his energy? Like, will he say like, "Hold up, G, I felt really hurt because at that moment I needed you, even though so like I could have dealt with that, but to listen to him kind of rework the story, um, into like he's like a superhero and mind you, like in the second part of the story, I'm also right there when Rose Boy is punching you out and like, pulling him off of you, like watching you be, beat up and not standing up for yourself. But you were strong enough to, beat up a man that scaled a 2-story building that just got out of prison.
Wow.
So it's like, it made me, I was just like, damn, this internet shit is crazy. You know what I mean? And I had to just, I accepted. I was like, okay, you know what? If that's where you at, I can respect it. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel like it's better to live. I seen another thing where he was just talking about he would let somebody take his anus for like $15 million.
Wait, hold up. I gotta do this. This is something we do in the black box. And, what the hell? Oh my God, no way.
You see that?
No, don't say it again. Don't repeat it, but what?
Yes, he was. He interviewed a model. I was reading it, and he interviewed a model, and the model said somebody tried to buy her virginity for 15 million, and I guess, and he said, "Man, he could buy mine." And I was thinking to myself, like,
wow.
And that's kind of why I didn't give him the gun, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's exactly. You see, as soon as you said that, I skipped all the way to that.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
You
If you have an
gun,
ear,
bro?
he who have an ear, let him hear. If you can't follow, go swallow. I mean, God damn. I don't know
So
what
nah, he's still, he's
Just
still
what I
like
told
fucking
you.
me right now.
You have the ability to have these industry entities feel like they are your friend. Remember, that's what I was going to earlier.
Yeah.
And he was under the spell, but not that you were not friendly to him. It's levels and layers to all things in life.
SP, I'm telling him, the crazy part is I'm telling him, like, hey, dog, I'll go with you. Feel me? I'll go with you. You ain't got a trip. I grab a homie, bro. We'll shot. Like, it don't even matter. Like, we'll just go with you. He's like, no, I just want to handle it myself. And I'm like, I'm trying to provide him a
I ain't
level of
gonna
making
lie.
sure you're okay.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I don't. Yeah, he the local all lows, the new term. Easty shit, boy, I would have had him slid him something fat. Oh, my mama. I ended up knocking out Scrappy for the same request. I had Top Dog follow me. No, I roll with Top Dog. When I go through my Rolodex, Top Dog, the first nigga told me, yeah, he got something. I'm trying to meet Scrappy in Beverly Hills. I go meet Top Dog on Imperial and Central, right by the nigga says, when we do the handoff, yo, what you need that for? Oh, what you won't need it. This the level Top Dog and TDE was on. Oh, you finna go see who? I want to go. Imagine today, Top Dog, you feel me? But it hadn't even boomed yet. So it was still the red Escalade. So imagine, man, G.I.P. Puto and an active young nigga from Bunny Hunter follow me and Top in the red thing all the way to Beverly Hills with the thing for Scrappy. And when we get to the Beverly Hills Hotel, not the Beverly Hills Hotel, the hotel in Beverly Hills, Scrappy, like, from me leaving in Watts, I'm on my way. When I get there, no answer. I had about 3/4 of a fifth of Remy, stood in the parking lot, that's gone. Apologized in the crowd.
You'd been out there
My
way
bad.
too long.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, us, natives out here making moves for industry relationships on that level, another way it could bite you in the ass. But I'm just saying, you way more of a adult, mature thinker than me, because under them circumstances, he wanted to go by himself. What? I would have slid him something so easy.
Ah, man, I ain't giving that nigga. I couldn't do it, bro. Like, like, you know what I mean?
No, I definitely know what you mean.
It wasn't just, like I said, there's a level of protecting myself, you know what I mean, from a legal situation, but it's also like I fucked with him enough
Protecting him.
to where I'm like, bro, you not finna, bro,
Yeah.
come on, bro, you finna fight a murder,
up?
bro? You gonna fight a murder? Come on, man, you're not finna fight. You know what I mean? So I remember he was so mad, like, I'll never tell the police. And I'm like, yeah, he was trying to convince me. And I'll never forget when this shit with Rose and them happened. And that nigga, like, he telling the police, I'm like, ah.
So did you wink up at the creator, like, thank you for that
Every
personal
time.
confirmation? Because I know as you live on loyalty, so you probably question yourself at the time. Did I do the right
Oh, God,
thing?
yeah. 7th Street,
Yeah.
multiple times, because it was like, damn, should I gave him? I remember telling Pluck, I'm like, damn, Pluck, you think no. Like, no, don't get, hell no. So there was times that I felt like that. And then mind you, a year later, this shit happened with Rose in Houston. And it's like, bro, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So in my mind, I thought we would have been straight because he would have realized like that just ain't what he was on. But, shit, man, again, accountability ain't in every man, dog. Sometimes it just be, people could get money and then just decide that they can tell people who they want to be versus who they really are.
True indeed. And you've never been a person, in the spirit of the Bible, he who sits in the back should be called to the front. You've never been the guy, hey, look at me, hollering. And it seems like now, just you doing your thing, soft spoken, you don't even go into all your vocal tone. Your statements seem to be becoming more and more relevant here and there as certain random shit pops up. And another viral situation, Doshi Adin.
Yeah.
It's old now. Your fault that I'm asking you because this is on my
All
list.
good. It's all good. We good. You wrote it down, so it's good.
Yeah, they still relevant
Yeah.
in a big sense. How do you feel jumping out there by yourself, not in concert, and having so much support from the community? I've seen people, I know your network is large, but I've seen people who I know who have no idea who you are reacting to what you said and relating to what you said. How did that feel?
I mean, it was a level where I felt like, damn, recognized, but it was also a space. SP, I'm like, why is this a big deal that I'm telling this white man he can't be talking to this sister like that in front of us?
I don't know the real answer, but I know it's been said that the Black woman is the most unprotected species.
I've been hearing that a lot. And
so maybe that may have
I
something
would
to
have
do.
been arguing that though before this. I would have argued that down. I'm like, cause where we from, come on, man, ain't nobody finna let no white man be talking no sister like that.
Right.
Come on, bro, that don't even sound plausible. So when I saw it, it was more like, "Hey, homie, like, what you think you doing? Don't do that shit in front of." It wasn't even about, her connections to Top or Punch or Moose or nobody. It was like, "This is just a sister, bro. Like, what do you think you doing?" And it's a level of like, okay, y'all are applauding, and everybody like applause, but
Hmm.
what's some shit that's like should be second nature to any nigga in the world, like, and that shit is kind of scary. Like we at a space to where standing up for a sister with a white man disrespecting her in front of everybody is a big deal. That shit crazy.
Yeah, that's deep. It's deplorable, disgusting, and downright something as far as an element we need to eliminate, reassess, rebuild upon, and come different, bro. I realize though there's an overall lack of appreciation for the black woman amongst us. Our genre of music that we help promote and sustain for whatever amount of time, whatever percentage we did, plays a big part in that. Because I can recall loving certain lyrics, and then as a youngster, pattern my life behind shit like, if a corrupt gave a fuck about it, I'd always be.
Mhm. I
I
never
never.
like no motherfucker endo. That's my
That
shit.
shit really started soaking in, and I'm a nigga that used to try to hold hands in kindergarten. I knew how to be the regular romantic in love, but it turned into and ain't no fun. It turned into something different, bro.
Yeah. It's a tough part for art, man, because you know the experiences in these songs are from a very personal experience where, in our and where we grew up at, it's a level of sometimes people deal in betrayal, right? It's limited resources all the way around. So, it bring kind of this very fundamental
Mm,
version of ourselves out. And we experience it. You know what I'm saying? We experience it and what I mean, a lot of the songs reflect it. You know what I mean? Like just like it could kind of bring the worst out of us. The culture is some great stuff. You know what I mean? The fact you could take some worker pants and crease them up and cuff them and wear them like they $200 pants, and you take some $12 basketball shoes and put some laces and flip a tongue like that. It is some greatness. You know what I mean in culture, but they're also in that fundamental space. It's gonna be the minimal resources is going to draw a very primitive person out of everybody and
mm.
reflected in the art sometimes. So, maybe some girl you dealt with was trying to figure her way out and you wasn't her solution and that broke your heart and it left you with a scar. So I feel like we judge art a little too hard with us. You know what I mean? And I think there's a level of accountability on artists when it don't fit what's happening in their life at that time. If it's something that you just lean on, I understand the argument. But coming from where we come from,
Mhm.
it's going to be some trauma in some of these relationships because it is limited resources. People are fighting for some level of relevance, some level of progress. Just it's only so much. So, I try not to judge our art as hard. That
Mm.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I try not to be as hard on our art. Corrupt done been through some shit with women, so I'm sure his lyrics could be
What?
crazy, but when I listen to him now, you feel me, and he rapping, it don't have the same energy.
But
Now
to
the
that point,
style is different.
but to that point, what you just said exactly. When I met Corrupt and start realizing, remember the lyric I quoted? Well, if Corrupt gave a, I met Corrupt and find out Corrupt does give a.
But again,
So,
over and over
but,
again,
but imagine formulating this type of mindset at 14, 15, then meeting him the late 20s and realizing, oh, nigga,
well, the reason he feel that way is because at times he probably gave way too much of a fuck.
shout out Gail Gotti. He actually gave a fuck about my cousin. He married my cousin. Oh,
You
God.
feel me? Because and,
Yeah.
and when things did work out, it left
You get
pieces of
that.
him.
You get that.
That's what you get.
It,
You'll get the great things about them experiences. You gonna get, the hardships. Oh, you actually he do got some good songs about women, but something about, you know, art in that form, the average person seems to relate to, because I think most men kind of probably find themselves at the heel of a woman, you know, at the soul of at the bottom of it, at the bottom of a hill of a woman. And
Not at some point in your life, I don't believe you have lived. And if you have lived and have not experienced that, you're extremely fortunate.
there you go. If you have interacted in the pursuit of finding your future wife and you've
Mhm.
dated multiple women, and if you've never been at the soul of a woman's shoe, then it probably won't make sense to you. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But if you have, you'll hear Sugar Free completely different. It'll start be like, oh, I get how somebody could be like that. Even if
Yeah.
I'm not like that, I get how that could happen.
Likewise, I'm not either,
Yeah,
and I have extremely reformed views for the past 26 years
yeah,
being a girl dad.
yeah.
I expounded my understanding as soon as I was the father of a female that was in the belly on the sonogram. I started looking at life different. The word bitch being a casual word just to refer to females in general stopped. I slip up every now and then,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like a fingernails on the chalkboard for me to hear black females and males so casually, no consequence, no negative connotation, except the word bitch just to describe a woman. I hate it, bro. Just
Man,
it's
it didn't it
no
didn't it didn't happen to me until the Doechii situation. Once
mm,
that happened, I was like, ah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all, this is really fucked up. Like, y'all tripping that I'm standing up for this sister, like, with this white man. So it made me start adjusting how I speak, which is crazy for me. You know what I mean? It because I'm that's not how I would talk all the time anyway. But now I'm really attentive with how I talk about my interactions with women historically, whether it was good or bad. Like I'm a lot more mindful because now is the world has shown me that it's something that I need to be a lot more mindful about. If people think they could disrespect black women and nobody gonna stand up for them, okay, now y'all got my attention. Because I never thought for 2 seconds that that would be a big deal.
I mean, just think how many verses you done wrote. And the B word is just the B word. That's all it is. That's
Yeah,
it's no, and we as men, as leaders, called the females. The memories like, you better not call me no. Now they've adopted it on our league, gotta take accountability. We can't be the head if we not gonna take the blame and the praise for
my
building it. And when it crumbles, it's our fault.
bad.
Adam, they have gotten it fruit from Eve, but he ate it. And my thing is this: it's gonna be on us to rebuild it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and this will put it in perspective for me, bro. Just think of embryos. They come either male or female, and those females turn into either your sister, cousin, auntie, girlfriend, or mother. Or that's the only thing they could be. Each male loves all those versions of a woman, baby mama, wife. I didn't mean to leave those out.
Mhm.
Now, if you respect the next nigga and and life in general, you don't want to respect either of those of any man because you respect that a man is willing to go to the lengths you're willing to go. And even though it might not be my daughter or my mother, that's somebody's mother.
Somebody doing
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the golden rule to me. Do unto others, you feel me? And I think if we stuck to that, we'll do a lot better.
You know what? I like that point of the accountability and deciding that, you know what, especially within ourselves, like when it comes to sisters, like, we might can't control how everybody treat all women, but for sure we can control how people treat sisters. So
Mm.
man, it's dope to hear you on that way because everybody was looking at me crazy. Like they thought I was tripping. I'm like, bro, how can y'all see what's happening when people making a big deal out of this and not realize why that will fuck with me? Like that means like some like whether or not we are failing, it's believed that we are not standing up. Because
I have
I don't believe that I don't believe that a black man to just sit by while some white man is assaulting a sister. I don't believe that. I don't think that's even normal with black men and black women with black people. So, but somewhere along the line, people got to think it's true to make a big deal out of something that primitive and simple.
Man, I'm gonna expound on this point, go to another current event, and then I'm gonna allow it to close here because I had some trivial shit I was gonna ask, but the direction this is taking, I appreciate it. With that being said, give us your thoughts on Chud the Builder, and then we gonna get up out of here, bro.
Man, listen, I am praying that them niggas in Nashville, he just got to be humble, bro. It's a level of arrogance that we ain't never really saw as people. He ain't never saw this shit. Like, I know we hear a lot of shit about niggas from out west and niggas from around the way. Some of this shit I have never in my life saw it, bro. I ain't never saw a white man running around calling somebody nigga and then said somebody chimp. And he didn't get into a fight. This motherfucker ain't getting to a fight, man. And it's his brother's picking up his hat and his brother's trying to rationalize it on some level of feeling like you controlling emotion. I want to tell them niggas this, man. You don't need emotions to deal consequence. You don't have to be mad. You shouldn't, just like when your child does something bad and you need to correct behavior, it shouldn't be with an attitude. It should be, you need to feel pain so you can understand. If you can't rationalize why this is not a correct decision, here, associate that decision with pain. You don't need emotion. So, him calling somebody the N-word, I agree. Like, shouldn't nobody, as he used the term, chimp out? Really, they should just whoop your ass. Nobody should be mad. They should just whoop your ass, because the fact that you think the First Amendment means you should go around and disrespect people, you're missing the initial man code, the human code of just being a man. Fuck the law. I don't think I could walk in somebody's neighborhood and be just calling white people cracker, you crack ass cracker. He might give me a fight. I feel like he missed out on fights. And you know how it is. When you miss out on fights, you don't
I
problem
think you
solve
just
with it.
described 97% of the black LA podcasters too. I know I just threw a waste.
Oh, no.
They
Same
miss out on so much of what you could jump on the internet and claim to be, that they get an opportunity. I missed out on the NFL. Catch me on Madden with a surround sound headset. Nigga, I'm that nigga in the NFL. And that's how a lot of these niggas is living that. Chuck the Builder, the fight element. The floor is yours.
Yeah.
East side.
I'm with you though, because it's true. I be seeing them niggas. I be like, y'all niggas, and SP is no way they could talk. I know they not running into but they can't be nowhere with nobody at, because the accountability level, you'd have been in a fight. You don't want to be in this many fights you would be in for talking like this.
Right.
But that internet creates a level of, you know what? I ain't gonna see nobody. We don't have as many events that we used to have. Remember, it used to be events where if you was in a space, I was gonna see you.
Yes. And I promise you, my mama, dead homies, daughters, lokes, loved ones, everything I love and live for, my aunties, uncles, cousins, sisters, everybody I know, cuz I never heard nothing bad about me until in that frame. Tell them, you been here the whole time, Keyway.
To the internet.
Never.
It'd be crazy. I be hearing certain shit about certain niggas. I be like, I never heard that before. So again, it's one of those things. You're right. I never realized that the internet creates a space where you could not be accountable for the things you say.
I'm finna fuck you up then. Just do me this favor before we get up out of here, cuz. Appreciate your time.
My love.
Fuck if you hurt. That's through the last 20 plus years. Everything you know about me. 2026, 2025, somebody said, Spider-Lo got marked out. First off, in your mind.
Never. You're lying.
Shit, thanks, cuz. I love you, cuz.
I love. You already know.
Get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You gonna feel
Like
different.
for in that hustling. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.